Have you ever been playing a rapid game and the opponent plays like they're playing a blitz game? That's what we have here today. This guy was moving like he had somewhere to be, blitzing out moves without any hesitation, without barely any thought. But fast doesn't always mean good, especially in rapid, and one move was all it took to lose the game. Let's break down how speed became their downfall. Welcome to Episode 1 of Blunders to Brilliance. Let's go ahead and get started. Today's game was submitted by Polaris Snaps, a 628 from India, playing a 650 from India as well. Polaris says the white pieces starts off with E4, you get E5. Simple development, which appears to be at first the Philidor defense, but transpires now into the Berlin defense. And you see at this point, it's all great moves and book moves. So this is probably stuff that they had prepared for. And this seems to be the first move outside of the book. And this right here is the first mistake of the game. And if you look, it shows only 4 seconds came off of the clock before this move was played, and not seeing that it's going to lead to a fork down the road. So one of the things I advise at this level, and one of the things that I certainly even need to practice at my level, is using my clock wisely and thinking about the time. It just so happens that you get so used to playing a certain opening, and when you feel you're in the opening stage, you tend to let your guard down because it's all just robotic memory. And I happen to make a lot of mistakes at that level, just thinking I'm still in an opening repertoire, and the opponent finds a nice move. And that's kind of what happens here, but the opponent doesn't see it either and just plays B5. So from this point on, we get some great moves. He brings out the the knight to A6. I probably would have preferred something like this. Gives the knight a little bit more room to attack, and it also does better at guarding the center. So he plays knight A6, and then white strikes at the center. We got takes, and then we see this move, C5. Better move would have probably been something like Queen C7, continuing to develop, getting the queen out. But this move right here also puts an attack on this knight. The knight's got to move. But had he played Queen C7, he would have had a slight advantage in this game. This is a mistake, and he finds this here. He's gonna end up losing this bishop. And I'd say for white, white spent a fairly decent amount of time on the clock, thinking about the moves. Black still has 13 minutes, but there's not any significant advantage or any piece deficit to show for it. So it's not bad chess in my opinion. And then this right here is a mistake. This gives black an advantage, goes from a 1.5 advantage from white to a 0.7 advantage for black. But he doesn't capitalize on it. The first move I noticed in this position that I would have played, I would have took this bishop, and that's what the engine recommends. And you get E takes, And black's not bad here. So we get bishop b7 though, trading off the bishop. Takes, and game's not too far apart here. We get a free pawn, and this was a mistake. The better move here would have been, believe it or not, rook a c1, protecting this pawn, because just trading off pawns, but he would have a pawn advantage over here on this side, which could be costly. So we get takes. This here is a miss. Rook f d8 would have been better, putting some pressure on this queen. And with this move, black has a decent advantage, a 1.8 advantage. But anyways, we get queen takes c2, a miss, and then an inaccuracy. Rook f c1 would have been better, pushing the queen away. And then you get something like queen g6, and white's better here. But anyways, bishop d4. I imagine he is trying to double up on this knight. And then the blunder happens. What's the blunder here? Let's take a look a second. He's got 11:57 on the clock, 11:40. I'm fairly certain he didn't realize that he was hanging this piece, and white gets a free piece. Great move. And at this point, black already resigns. And I would say this is somewhat premature to resign, especially at this level. At the 1500 level, I've been down 5-7 and still been able to come back. There's still a lot of chess to play, a lot of opportunity for mistakes. So I do think that this was a very premature resign, but I also understand when you make a mistake, you get frustrated and you think it's time to quit. But overall, this wasn't a bad game at all by white. White played at a 76 accuracy, 1200 game rating for a 628 player. Seemed to use his clock fairly well. So, my only recommendation would be to just don't be so comfortable in the opening, because it will end up costing you when people are able to capitalize off it. But overall, pretty good game. I think the lesson here is time management. You see, at this point, Polaris Snaps has 6:24 on the clock. He's been doing a lot of thinking, finding better moves, whereas the other player has 11:40 on the clock, not really considering what's going on. So it ended up costing him, and it still happens to me. So you get 15 minutes, you might as well use it. And chess is a game of thinking. When you're able to use that time, you often play better moves. So that's all we got. And shout outs to Polaris, man. Good game. And I hope your chess improvement journey continues to go well. That's it for episode 1 of Blunders to Brilliance. Got a game that you want reviewed? A crazy blunder? A hidden brilliancy? Drop it in the Blunders to Brilliance Discord. We're building a community of players learning and improving together. Want to join? The link's in the description below. I'll see you there.